To the pre-race for the 2025 Bellingham Swimrun. We're excited to see you all out on the course on Sunday, June 1st. The weather forecast looks great and the water has been quite comfortable. As we start off, let's go ahead and be sure to thank all of our volunteers that make this race possible. They're taking time out of their schedule to ensure that you all can race and be safe out there. So be sure to thank them as you're out there. If you know anybody that might be interested in volunteering, please send them our way. They can go to the website and register that way. There's a volunteer sign up button on the Bellingham Swimrun page, or just have them contact us at info@questraces.com. Another reminder that the Bellingham Swimrun course is an open course, so there will be other park users out there. This photo was actually taken just a couple days ago. Lovely sunny afternoon, lots of people there. This is actually looking at the start-finish area. I don't suspect the beach will be quite that busy on race morning, but just realize there are other trail users out there. Please be respectful to them. You may see some horses, you may see people fishing, you'll most likely see people paddling. Might be some bikes, walkers, runners. There is a section for the long course that goes through a dog off leash area. So be respectful of the other trail users. Give them a heads up that you're coming. Typically, when they see a bunch of weirdos running through the woods in wetsuits, they get out of the way. But just give them plenty of heads up and be nice to those folks out there. One more little bit of housekeeping. We still have an issue with the New Zealand mud snail there in Lake Patten. Again, this is no risk to humans at all, but it is an invasive species that we are doing everything we can to not spread. Low likelihood that you would spread it, but to ensure that it's even lower and near zero, at the end of the race, there'll be 2 buckets, so you will step into the buckets. They're a mixture of vinegar and water, so just step in with shoes and socks, and then we'll have garbage bags there for you. So you can just peel off your shoes and socks, stick them in the garbage bags, and ideally put those in the freezer for 24 hours afterwards. And that will ensure that no mud snails survive and we don't spread this invasive species to other bodies of water. Mandatory gear. Swim caps. Please have a swim cap. We have some, but if you have one that you like, go ahead and bring that. We will be providing the Quest Races bibs, so those are covered. Please have a whistle, shoes, goggles, and then solo racers either have a swim buoy or a rest tube, some sort of safety device. We also strongly recommend a wetsuit. I've been in the water a number of times. It's really warmed up nicely the last few days with this warm weather we've been having. Still, most people are going to be most comfortable in wetsuits. I suspect water temperature will be somewhere 64 to 66 on race day. Pull buoy for between your legs, highly recommended, as our hand paddles, and then a tether as a team. Again, not required, but strongly recommended. Makes a really big difference out there. All right, let's get into some of the details. So where is the race? So the race is at Lake Patten Park. It's the same start-finish area as it has been the last few years, kind of the west end swim beach. So go into the west entrance. There is parking in this. This is all parking along here. There's more parking down over here to the west if those areas are full. Here's the restroom and showers, and then we will be just down to the east near the water is where start-finish area will be. Registration. Registration will open at 8 a.m. or 7:30, I guess, and you'll get there, grab your timing chip, get a race bib, and then also your race t-shirt. Course markings. We'll go over these a bit to make sure everybody's comfortable with it. Very similar course markings, same course markings that we've had in the past. So you'll see some of those kind of pinkish arrows here. Those will be pointing which direction the course needs to go. These little pin flags, orange with the Quest logo on them, that is what you will mostly see out there. And so as long as you're seeing those, you're in the right place. For the swim exits, we'll have these large triangular swim buoys, still the BNP buoys. So you'll be looking for those at all the swim exits, and those will be generally to the left of the swim exit. So aim just to the right of those, and that will get you to where the swim exit is. Here's a couple little videos that'll just kind of show what it looks like on the course. This is from a mountain bike race that we put on, but the same rules apply. Course marking for Galbra Supreme, we'll be using these pin flags. So as you're biking along, you'll see these. If you see a bunch of them together, that means there's an intersection, and that will lead the way. So you can see at this intersection, we're going to keep going straight. There's none that way. Don't go that way. Keep going this way. The other thing you'll need to notice at intersections is the pin flags will be on the side of the trail that you're going to. So this is a left-hand turn. All the pin flags are on the left, and you've got another confirmation one beyond. So again, those pin flags are what's guiding you, those orange pin flags. There is some course changes, so we don't have the color change in the pin flags like we had last year. And we're generally keeping them on the side of the trail. If it's an intersection that you're going to, as you approach that intersection, you will see like all of a sudden there's a few flags close together just before you get there, and then a couple more just beyond. All right, now we're going to dive into more detail on the course itself. We're going to start out with the long course. So the long course is just shy of 8 miles of running and just under 2 miles of swimming, 6 different swimming sections. There will be an aid station after swim 2 and swim 4, which come through kind of the start-finish area. So we're going to move into the course itself. All right, so we're going to clean this up a little bit to make it easier to see. So again, start-finish area is here, which is near the west entrance of Lake Padden Park. Here's the restroom and showers. So you're going to start out and you're going to run to the east along the Padden Loop Trail, coming along, and that first run for the long course is just over 1/3 of a mile, and you're going to come to the boat launch. From the boat launch, you're going to swim across the lake in kind of a southwesterly direction, and there'll be a buoy over here. Again, the buoy will be just to the left of the swim exit. You're going to get out on a kind of a little sand beach here, run up and hit the loop trail. You're going to take a right on the loop trail. You're going to continue up the hill, then taking a left onto a smaller kind of old road, kind of mossy covered. Then take the left in the next intersection. This trail is going to run up and over. This run is about 1.4 miles. And sorry, swim 1 is 755 yards. So you do this 1.4 mile run, dropping back down the hill. When you hit the loop trail, you're going to take a hard left. You're going to head back over, and you're actually going to get back in the water at the same beach that you got out at. From here, swim 2 is about 600 yards. You're going to swim straight across to the start-finish area. Once you're at the start-finish area, you can hit the aid station, and then you're going to take a left, and you're going to run along the loop trail. It kind of goes up and loops just the lake side of the restrooms. Coming towards the west end of the park, you're going to turn off that loop trail, go towards the parking lot, take a left, and there's a little sub-ridge here, and I've put some little videos up of this online that you'll see. Coming down to the Padden Gorge Trail, this is kind of a steep little ascent here. Take a hard left, come up towards the lake again. Once you get to the lake, you're going to take another hard left, and then a right to swim 3. So run 3 is about 0.7 miles. Swim 3 shoots across this kind of western edge of the lake. This gets out on a kind of slippery, rocky section. So particularly if you're a team, help each other out. If you're not, there's another racer there. Give each other a hand getting out of there. That swim 3 is about 325 yards. At the end of that, after you climb out, it's kind of a short, steep little climb on a social trail. Then you'll hit the loop trail, You're going to take a right on the loop trail, run back down towards the creek. Just before you get to the bridge, you're going to take a left and start climbing up. So run 4 here ends up being about 1.2 miles. You climb up this hill. It's more of single track, brief section here where it's kind of an old road, and then you'll cut off that old road, staying to the right, back onto single track, kind of a rolling single track trail. You hit a section where on run 2 you ran up it. You're going to go the opposite direction here, taking a hard left. This is where there's like this split big cedar tree. Once you hit the loop trail, take the left. You'll take a hard right off the loop trail on a little social trail that goes down, and this is where the boat launch or the rope swing is. And so from the rope swing, you'll catch swim 4, and swim 4 is about 425 yards going back to the start finish area. Once you get to the start finish area, you're going to hit the aid station again. Be sure to fuel up because there's no more aid stations after this point. And you've got a fair amount of running and swimming still to go. So from this point, you're going to run the same run that you did on run 1. So again, it's about a third of a mile over to the boat launch. Once you get to the boat launch, you will actually head essentially along the shoreline. So swim 5 here is about 780 yards. So it's your longest swim of the day. And you're going to swim along the shoreline, heading in a southerly direction. There's a little dock right here that you'll swim past. Keep going along all the way over to the playground. And again, there'll be a buoy marking this exit here. You're going to stay to the, you'll go in just past that buoy. And then you're going to get out right by the playgrounds here at the far end of Lake Padden. Once you get out of the playgrounds, you're going to go up, you're going to hit the loop trail, and then this is the longest run of the day. So run 6 is 3.9 miles and covers about 650 vertical feet. It's going to go, this year we're going to do it in a clockwise direction, so opposite of how we did it last year. You're going to run along the lake loop trail and then keep going straight. And this section here is the off-leash dog park, so you may see a few dogs. Just be aware of that. And basically we're just going to keep climbing up the hill. So once you cross the creek, the trail starts going up, looping along, and then you'll do this kind of last biggest climb, passing the trail that cuts over towards the Galbraith area, continuing on up to the summit. And then you'll come down the switchbacks, staying to the left, doing kind of they call this the expert loop here at Padden. So it's kind of a long downhill. Then you do another bit of a climb here, coming back up and over this little rise, some more steep switchbacks coming down. Then you're going to drop back down, hit the loop trail. You're going to take a right and an immediate left. And so this will be well marked. Now that you're back on the loop trail, you're going to run past the playground. You're almost done. Continue along the shore trail, nice and flat, coming past the boat launch this time. And then you'll get in just past the boat launch. There's kind of a bench and a big tree. So you'll take a left there, hop in the water for your very last swim. This one's about 415 yards. Swim over to the start-finish area, out of the water, and the short jaunt to the finish line. All right, so that covers the long course. Again, aid station is after swim 2 and swim 4. So be sure you load up after swim 4 so you got fuel and hydration to get you through the end of that. So for the short course, we had to do some changes to this course because of some big fallen tree that took out one of our typical swim entrances. So this is a newer short course for this year. And what this short course looks like. So same start finish area. And what you're going to do from the start is run along the beach just below the bathhouse. And this is you share your run. This is run 3 for the long course, run 1 for the short course. So this one's about 0.6 of a mile. And it's going to come along past the tennis courts, just past the tennis courts. Rather than staying on the loop trail, you take a hard right and then a couple lefts, climbing onto this small little ridge, steep drop down to Paddon Gorge, hard left on Paddon Gorge, left at the dock, and run back over to this little rocky beach here. So that puts you into swim 1 for the short course, which is about 325 yards, cuts across this west end of the lake. And again, this is that steep rocky exit. So be sure to work as a team to get out. It's a little slippery, short steep climb coming out. And then you're gonna hit the loop trail, taking a hard right, a little bit of a downhill followed by a little bit of an up, and then a downhill going towards the creek and the outflow. Just before the bridge, take the hard left, and you're going to start climbing back up to this ridge line. So you'll climb up through the trees, hitting the top, taking another left, running along. And as this is kind of a road section, the road section continues down and around, you're going to stay to the right. And you'll continue along through these beautiful woods with big trees, coming up to this intersection here where you'll take a hard left, going back to the loop trail, taking another left, running along the loop trail to a social trail, taking a right, and then down to the rope swing. So there's a rope swing right here. You'll be looking straight across at the start finish area. So this is the new swim for the short course. So what you're going to do from the rope swing is you're actually just going to swim in an easterly direction. So you're going to take a right. There's one little cove here, and there's some some seaweed, some grasses and stuff in here. So you're not going to be staying very close to the shore. But basically aim for the next point just to your right, go around that point and to the base of that little point, and there's a nice little beach exit here. So again, this one, you're going to be looking straight across at the start-finish area, but that's not where you're going for your second swim. You're going to essentially hug the shore, looping down around this first bay and into the second little cove. You're going to get out of the water on this great little beach, short little social trail up to the main loop trail, taking a right, climbing up this hill, and this is your biggest climb of the day. Let's go back real quick. So this swim's about 380 yards, depending on how you take it. Run 3 for the short course is 1.7 miles. So this is your longest run of the day, and it gains about 217 feet. So it climbs up this hill, comes along the section where other racers may be going back the other way. You're going to stay to the left, following the signs, and keep climbing up the hill. Beautiful climb up through some really big trees, and it kind of crests out about here, and then it's a downhill back down to the loop trail. You will be taking a right-hand turn on the left trail, followed by 2 hard lefts. And then you're on the loop trail, going along past the playground and the ball fields, continue along past the boat launch, and getting in the water here for your last swim 3, which is about 420 yards or so, and this will shoot you straight back to the finish area. So hopefully that preview gives you the information you need so you're ready for the day. Again, couple changes for both the long course and the short course, but a lot of the same areas that we've gone to in the past. Thank you again for joining us for the 2025 Bellingham Swimrun put on by Quest Races. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday. If you have any questions, please email us at info@questraces.com.